Welcome to Cooking with Benson. My name's Benson. So, it's been a while, been a very long time. I've had videos done and prepped and edited and I just didn't like them, didn't want to go that route. But I found this online and immediately ordered it because at heart, I'm a great big nerd. What I'm talking about is this right here. So this is called the Dungeons and Dragons Heroes Feast, the official DnD Cookbook. So this is actually written by some D&D writers. It's got some lore in it. I haven't made it all the way to the end yet. It's broken up into different sections by like race. So there's like the human section, the elf section, the gnome section, the dwarf section, the otherworldly section. The recipes range from Tavern Steaks and spiced potatoes to iron rations and elven bread, dwarven bangers and mash. So there's a lot in this book, and we're going to go through these recipes kind of one at a time. Today, though, we are going to make Tavern Steaks. Now, I have read through the entire recipe for Tavern Steaks. It's on page 40 of the book. Got it marked right here. There's 3 parts to this. There is a dill yogurt sauce, a black olive fig sauce. So depending on what your preference in sauce is, there's 2 different sauces. And then there's the steaks themselves. The steaks themselves are 1 pound hamburger, 1 pound lamb meat. Lamb meat's a little expensive if you're in the States, especially here in Florida. It's not readily available, so it's like $9 a pound. Yes, I paid $9 a pound for a pound of lamb, and I know in other countries and stuff it's probably not as expensive, whereas hamburgers are our cheapest option, and so is sausage. So you could do probably a hamburger sausage version and get just as good, or if you find like veal or something, those are options. So mine is, I packaged my own hamburger, so this is actually about 1.5 pounds, and then I got a pound of this free-range ground lamb that I found at Sprouts. And then the other items, so for the dill yogurt sauce, you need fresh dill, smells so good. You need some Greek yogurt, you need dill relish. You could probably make this your own if you make your own pickles. I do have homemade pickles, but they're not just straight pickles, so I didn't want to go that route. I just got some plain dill relish. And then a minced shallot, and then salt, pepper to taste. So that's your Greek yogurt sauce. For the black olive fig sauce, you need dried figs. I ended up getting these organic Turkish dried figs. It's just what was available to me where I shopped. You need a cup of pitted olives, either Nicosia or Kalamata olives is what they went with. I just found jumbo black pitted olives, because I couldn't find any of these specific named ones. Then you need capers, garlic. I don't have regular garlic. I do have pre-minced garlic. I don't think it's going to hurt the recipe at all. It's got a good garlic flavor. Fresh thyme. I actually bought this thyme bush because I'm going to grow it. Because at the same time I bought a basil bush. Neither here nor there. Then we need lemon juice. Ba-bing. Extra virgin olive oil, got some olive oil, and kosher salt, and then fresh parsley. Where's my parsley? Parsley. And then for the burgers themselves, the Tavern Steaks. Like I said, it's 1 pound of beef, showed you that. Pound of lamb, showed you that. Small yellow onion, finely chopped. This isn't a small, it's probably a medium, so I'm probably going to use about half of that. Then you need garlic, like I said, I've got that. Thyme, got that. Ground pepper, got that. Now, the recipe says to cook this over an open fire of about medium flame, so you kind of want to do it on like a little charcoal grill. I do have that. Depending on how late this runs, I may not grill those, but you know, for that cool cooking fire effect, I'm probably going to start a fire. Anyways, that's where we're at here. I'm going to go ahead and chop up the stuff that needs to be chopped up, get it organized. The figs have to soak in hot water, boiling water, for about 15 minutes to rehydrate before I can chop those. Basically, the dill sauce just gets mixed together in a bowl. The olive fig sauce goes into a chopper, and then the I have to cook the onion mixture that goes into the lamb meat. Oh, there are a few steps that I need to get done before we even kind of start cooking the Tavern Steaks. like I said, we're going to do some other recipes. In fact, this meal is 3 recipes tonight. You guys are seeing this first recipe tonight, right now. And then, you know, in the following weeks, I'll show you the next couple recipes that I'm going to do. So stay tuned for those. Alright, I've got my 1 cup of pitted olives. That's my roughly 3 tablespoons of parsley, finely chopped. That actually doesn't go in until it's almost time to serve, but it is a part of the olive and fig sauce. I've got my onion cut up for my Tavern Steaks, as well as a teaspoon of thyme. Got my chopped garlic right here because I'm cheating. Meat's over here. So really the next thing to do, I'm gonna get me a tablespoon and a half of capers, rinse them off, drain them, squeeze them dry so they're good and dry. So this goes over here. Come back. This is my finely chopped thyme. You gotta go over there. A teaspoon. I'm gonna put my onions over here with the other thing of thyme that I've already got chopped up, because this is gonna get cooked to go into the steaks themselves. Alright, so one of the things it does say that because this is supposed to be a sauce for the steaks and stuff, this is not saucy. It's a paste. But what you're going to do is when you drain your figs, you're going to reserve some of the fig water, because it's basically imbued itself with all the kind of sweetness of the figs and stuff, to loosen this up as loose as you prefer it. So what'll happen is once the figs are done, I'll get those out drained, I'm just going to drain them. I'm not going to squeeze them dry. I'm going to dump them in here, stir it around real good, see kind of how loose it gets then, and then I'll go from there. Because the thing is as I loosen it, I'll also have to season it. I haven't added any salt or anything to this. I'm going to wait until I get the figs in there to try it. The only thing is I don't like olives. I try them once a year to see if I like them, and I don't like the flavor. It doesn't matter what they're in. So we're gonna see how interesting this goes. Now this does get parsley added just before it's time to serve. So once you add the figs, get it to the consistency and the preferred seasoning taste that you like, right before you serve it, you'll mix the parsley into it, get it good and stirred up, and then that also goes on the side as a dip for these. Now this, it says this can stay unrefrigerated, whereas the dill sauce went in refrigerated. We are going to get the mixture that's going to go into our steaks ready to go. We're going to cook these onions until they're translucent and soft. Once that happens, we're going to add our thyme and our garlic, let those cook for another minute or so until they're fragrant, and then we'll get it added to the beef mixture. So alright, so once our onions are soft, some of mine did brown a little bit because I started off too high learning a new tool. So I cranked down the heat. So make sure you cook these on a medium heat till they're soft. You can kind of see like that. Like I said, some of them have browned a little bit. And then you're going to go in with a tablespoon and a half of fresh thyme and 7 chopped garlic cloves. Stir these up real good, and you're just gonna cook this for about a minute. Really what you're just trying to do is get that garlic and that thyme to combine in the oil with the onions, and also kind of give you just this fragrant smell. So, all right, we're gonna add our figs to our mixture. So I'm gonna pull them out of the water, give them a gentle squeeze, because I don't want too much of the good stuff on the inside. See how they've definitely softened up a lot. I'm gonna set this to the side and stir this and see if I like the consistency or not. As you stir, the figs kind of break up into the mixture a good bit. This is still too thick for my liking for a sauce, so just a little bit to start. Probably gonna go with 2 tablespoons for mine. It's interesting that it tells you to only stem and quarter the figs. You'd think you'd want them a little bit smaller because they seem awful big in this mixture. All right, that's a little bit more runny. It's a thick sauce at this point, so I'm good with that. I'm gonna give it a taste and see if it needs any salt. Again, I don't like olives, so I thought I'd bring you up to see me taste this. I'm gonna get a fig, so hopefully it saves me a little bit. All right. It smells good. That's actually not bad. It doesn't have that. Olives have that heavy brine flavor. The figs, the lemon juice, that's actually really good. Really kind of help that. I am gonna hit it a little bit of good old-fashioned salt. A pinch, so to start, maybe just maybe like a teaspoon. You would think with the capers and the olives and stuff being brined, usually you have a saltiness to them, especially capers, but all right, here we go. That is really good. I did not 100% did not expect to like this. Like I said, I don't like olives. I don't like them on pizza. I don't like them in anything. I don't like the flavor. We're gonna let this chill out. Just over on the side, gonna scrape down my bowl a little bit. Let these flavors kind of come together, marry, make a little flavor family. so here is my lamb and my beef mixed together. Oh, I just threw it right on my shirt. So basically you want to kind of get in there and just twist it. It needs to be evenly combined throughout all the meat mixture, so that way it seasons everything. Do 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 do. Playing with our meat, mixing our meat, playing as we mix our meat. I'm throwing like beef chunks out. Do 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 do. All right, I'm just adding a couple things of cracked black pepper, a couple twists into this. I will hit it with salt before it goes into onto the grill, or however I decide to cook this. Kind of give this a stir. So, now we are working this meat a lot, and so a lot of the fat in it is going to start to melt. But once we make these into patties, we're going to get them on a plate and into the fridge so they can kind of firm back up and get cool. To make them about 6-ounce patties, 6-ounce portions. So, yeah, that's about it. And also, it wasn't a pound of each, it was 12 ounces of each. So, and it says to kind of gently make them into a patty form. And then if you want them to kind of retain their shape, it even says if you press a divot into the center, it supposedly will help them keep their shape as they cook, otherwise they'll shrink up. So that's our first Tavern steak on the plate. And gently combine it, work it into a roundish shape, and then we're going to go in with our divot. And it doesn't say how big the divot should be, and I never know. I've never seen anybody do it. I do divot mine to try and help. I don't know if it helps, to be honest with you. All right, got a good smoking hot pan. Got enough room. I think I can get 4 in. So the 2 small ones and then the normal size ones. The sizzle is loud, but look how gorgeously brown. Yummy. There we have it, the Tavern steak. Half beef, half lamb, a little dill sauce for if you want a little tang. You got a little figs and olive sauce on this side. Added the parsley to it there at the end. So you kind of have a sweet and salty versus a tangy, creamy to eat your Tavern steak with. All right, so you guys are gonna see me try this here Tavern steak now. So got a good little crispy edge on the whole thing. I'm gonna try a small bite with the dill sauce and a small bite with the olive sauce, and we'll see what it's like. Oh, did you hear that little crispy kind of as it went into it? Still a little pink on the inside. It's a little more than I prefer. I like mine to be a little bit more rare, but it'll do. Let's see. All right, we're gonna go just the burger by itself. Very juicy. It's got a good little char on it from where I hit it in that hot skillet on each side. So it's got that kind of savory, almost grill flavor to it. It's just lacking the smoke. Not too over seasoned or anything. You can kind of get the subtle hints of like the thyme and the onion in there. Let's try it with the dill sauce. So the steak itself is a little heavy because there's a lot of fat between the lamb and the burger and the hamburger and stuff. The beef or whatever. That dill sauce kind of cuts through that nicely and adds like this fresh punch right at the beginning. So it coats your mouth with like that creamy yogurt and stuff and that fresh taste as you chew through all of that. That's pretty good. I like it like that. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna get a fig. All right, that's a fig. Some of this olive fig sauce. The baby's over there enjoying hers already for dinner. So Dig it in there the whole way. I'm not a fan of sweet meat. I don't care for sweet barbecue sauce, anything like that. That works though, because again, you're getting that kind of heavy fattiness from the meat itself. She's talking to her brother in the other room. So you get this brininess from the olives and the capers, and then kind of this sweet pickup from the fig to kind of mellow the whole thing out. Definitely you want to make sure you, like, once it's in your mouth, you chew it together, like blend it together, and it works really well. It's actually quite delicious. I enjoyed this. It's a long process for something that's just a hamburger. You honestly could do this with just beef. You could do this with just pork. You could do it with just lamb. You could combine pork and beef. You combine pork and beef, whatever to your liking, and I think it would still come out delicious. I'm so sorry. But that is the Tavern Steak, ladies and gentlemen, from the Dungeons and Dragons official cookbook. Let me know if you guys tried this one. We love you, and we'll see you in the kitchen.